the physical
Let's
damage
go, brother.
reduction
Game pertama.
skill as well.
Navi MY versus Gaimin Gladiator.
Was still a pretty 50-50 matchup,
Kita
but
lihat
we
saja, bro,
will
ya.
see. Ladies and gentlemen, let us jump into the Land of Dawn for the very first game of MWI 2025. Gaimin Gladiators versus Navi MY.
We're starting things off strong. A lot of damage taken by Ramoon. Able to walk out of the way with the Revitalize. But now Navi MY showing that they're getting pushed back. GG, starting things strong, starting things very aggressively. That's what you get when you have a Sayori with a Kimmy in that mid lane, and Ashlay taking control of the momentum in the early game.
Yeah, this Kalea makes a big difference actually. We already talked about how the early Pharsa pick was for Navi to make sure they had mid lane priority, but the Kimmy Kalea combination just does so much damage at level 1, and then the Kalea passive offers you much better trading, means that Gaimin Gladiators has actually regained control over that part of the map. This makes early jungle invades impossible and gives Nicolette a bit more space to play around Rina.
Yeah, we're talking about late game. Look at the level difference so far from the Lancelot and the Fredrin. Rina got the level 3 much earlier than the Fredrin, so Nicolette has to buy some time, play towards the late game, try to go towards the objectives. You don't want to play lane to lane kind of aggressions and as well as clashes. So I think for Navi MY, try to play more passively, try to deny that late game potential that Gaimin Gladiators can bring up. Taking a look at emblems, is there anything that speaks out to you, Sadafa?
Looking at the emblem setup overall, there's nothing too unusual. Weakness Finder on Sayori means that they are leaning more towards late game scaling. Otherwise, it would be Quantum Charge to take advantage of more mid-game pressure. We also have Sprint on Panda, so not going for that Purify, since Gaimin Gladiators know they are much more superior in terms of crowd control, even forcing 2 Purify takes on Navi instead.
First turn of the game, Nicolette's already in position. Aria level 4, waiting to use their final slash. They will knock up 2 members. Ramoon is knocked up to the sky for airstrike to zone Nicolette out of the way. Won't be able to take her out as Gaimin Gladiators take 1 kill, and Navi MY secures the turtle.
Yeah, fairly 50-50 there. Trading first blood for the turtle is not too bad either way, but Gaimin Gladiators definitely had
the objective spawns up with the Pharsa, with the Gato Capture. They're able to just get into position much faster than what Gaimin Gladiators can do. And Nicolette slowly picking up the pace, and I'm looking at that jungle clear speed, especially from Navi MY. You already have level 5, so Nicolette's actually really holding up well against that Lancelot. Now on the other side of the table though, what do you think of the EXP to EXP lane matchup?
Well, on paper, CC should be able to do quite well, but after the recent buffs, Arlot is actually capable of sustaining himself in lane. We can see that Sha going for the lane freeze instead. I think that's a very smart choice.
Nicolette dives in, getting taunted up. Ashlay trying to push everyone back. Nice tsunami slam into the wall, over the wall, and AOG out of the way. Ramoon playing with death just a little bit more as Gaimin Gladiators almost taking one down.
Yeah, that was actually really good spacing of cooldowns coming in from Gaimin Gladiators. They didn't commit all of their abilities at once to try and burst Ramon down because they know that Gatot is not going to go down that easily. They space it out. They're able to get him out of the feathered airstrike, but then they decided, okay, we do not need to commit on this. Let us just go and play the map instead.
It's a little bit of a slow movement. You got Ramoon trying desperately to get a little bit more vision. No AOG though. Sayori forced to get the flicker out of the way. Rina.
Waduh.
She wants to say kill him with kindness, but Rina woke one day and said, I'm going to choose violence this time around.
Really well played from Ramondo right there. You get engaged on instantly. The unbreakable 2-man taunt sets up for the feathered airstrike, and Rina is able to chase down a very important target. The more they can delay the farm on Sayori, the more time Navi MI will have to play around. Because once you get into the late game scaling, this Kimmy is going to become their biggest problem.
Scoreline, economy, equalized as of now. You can see a lot of rotations coming in from Gaimin Gladiators. Panda is actually trying to go over to the mid lane, trying to get as much funneling economy into herself as possible. We're starting things up onto that turtle. Hanie uses the fair airstrike, trying to kick things up. Nice little fair, the final slash onto Hanie, but able to use the wings to get out of the way. In deep, Aria, one more hit, might be able to go down. Nice little swing and a slash. Rina actually takes one down after another. That's 1 for 1 for both sides. The turtle getting dished, getting dodged. It's just waiting for her inevitable doom.
That was excellent adjustment from Gaimin Gladiators. When the fight started, it was almost 100% going to be won out by Navi MY, but I think Rina might have missed a puncture, and that ended up costing them a lot of their damage. Gaimin played it slow, backed up into their front-to-back positioning, and used the passive from Kalea to actually prolong the fight, in which they would have the obvious advantage. Trading Aria to get a free turtle and a kill onto the CC already sets up Gaimin Gladiators exactly where they want to be.
This is the issue, right? You got a final slash. Hold on a second. Fair airstrike won't be able to take Aria out, just to zone her away. But, you know, the fair airstrike doesn't really matter as much. Got a tsunami slam into the wall. Shaw able to dash out of the way. They're focusing fire on that turret. They need to take that T1 down up the top side. Nicolette trying to zone out the members. Hanie and Ramoon can't even get close. They take on that T1 and they get out of the way. That's a drive-by from Gaimin Gladiators.
I'm really liking the rotations from Gaimin right now. Playing the map, going for structure. Lost tier 1 down bottom. There's a wave pushing down there against them, actually. So that's something they'll have to keep in mind. But now Raymond
does have the AOG, so he is safe. As Revitalize keeps her up and alive for now. Now, focusing fire, they have that 5-minute kind of a composition turnaround as Aria on 1v1 against Rina. So Aria should be the answer for the late game side lane split push. So you want to send that Arlot over to the side lanes to maintain that priority over these major objective takes. Is that enough though, Sudafa?
I think it's more than enough. Gaimin Gladiators should just win out team fights once you get into the late game because they just have so many more tools to play around with. They don't even need to fully commit to the macro necessarily as long as they set up the map advantageously in the earlier stages. When we look at their itemization as well, I actually kind of like that there were 2 dreadnoughts on Aria and Nicolette. There was actually no magic defense itemization because they know they can cancel feathered airstrike really easily.
Conceal play just to scare them away, as right now the 2 marksmen down mid side as well. Oh, Aria starting things up. Vengeance trying to pull them over for airstrike, trying to save Shaw from harm's way. Saruri takes up that kill. Ramoon stuck in the middle, waiting for an inevitable doom. Nicolette will pick up that kill, but from the back line, you have Rina trying to dash, weave, swiping away. Will not get any kills whatsoever. Gaimin Gladiator still up on top. Sayori down low, almost taken out as they win out on another trade. But here's the kicker though, and Navi are still ahead in terms of economy. What's happening, Sadafa?
And they're still farming the map pretty well because we have to know Gaimin Gladiators have a lot of tools, but that also means that their heroes need multiple members around to make use of those tools. The fact that they're rotating together quite closely means that they're not farming the map quite as effectively. I imagine Fao actually has quite a lot of gold at this point because this Harif has just chosen not to participate in any engagement.
Oh, coming in, Hanie doesn't have the wings by wings, able to walk and prance out of the way. Nicolette taking a little bit damage, but they are not targeting onto that turtle. Aria getting ganked on by 2. Down the mid, down the bottom side, Shaw. Aria actually gets away from harm's way. The turtle getting decimated and the Lord getting coming up into fray. Navi MY able to zone out into this one. Gaimin Gladiators, what is their play?
I think they can take this slowly. They're trying to force something out. I'm not sure about it though.
Oh, Ashlay taking a little bit too much damage. Tsunami Slam gets her out and safe out of way. But you have Aria chasing onto Hanie, taking a lot of damage, not able to get out the way. And she goes down. Gaimin Gladiators loses 1. And I don't think this Lord will be contestable by GG.
And literally right after I said it, slow it down. You do not need to force things out. Gaimin has tools to pick off members of Navi, but they basically walked into the artillery line there. Feathered airstrike comes down, they're all grouped up together, and then Aria tries to force herself into the backline to get some sort of pickoff when the rest of GG is already backing up.
It's a lot of damage, but I don't think they care. Navi MY just using their bodies to source for more information. A little bit of a reconnaissance party here for Navi, and vision is all they need because now Gaimin Gladiators, they're working hard as a unit and ape strong together. As the girls, they're starting things up again. Gets Tsunami Slam into the wall. Fair airstrike try to push everyone back out of the way. Sayori into deep for foul right from the flank. Finds Sayori, takes her out. You got the Gaimin Force as well. Aria, no dashes, no way of escape. Down they go. 2 members down for GG, and they're sounding the alarm, pulling the trigger. Ashlay just delaying her inevitable doom. No more Tsunami Slam, and she goes slam into the graveyard.
No, that is not how you want to take the fight right now as Gaimin Gladiators. They're not following their front to back lineup. They're trying to force things out. I'm honestly
Wow.
seeing some gaps in communication here, where some players are trying to make things happen, but the rest of the team isn't actually following up on it. Are they making the call? Are they just not prepared? Either way, it is costing them dearly, and Navi and Y have now built up a pretty sizable gold lead. They have a Lord on their side. Gaimin cannot afford to make mistakes like that anymore.
Fafao is actually coming up online. 2-0-3 for this Harif. We all thought that, you know, it's a gone case for Harif because of the adjustments in the previous patch. But right now, Fafao is actually showing us that Harith is still relevant whenever she comes into the team fights. That is it. I don't think it's also like the main damage from the Harith itself, but also the way that she positions herself. She doesn't show herself up until she knows that she can secure a kill. Taking a look at the mid-game itemizations. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's very greedy of Sayori to go for a Sky Piercer second item when they're not really that much in the lead. Hanie has not actually died yet, already has the Genius Wand. We do see the Brute Force Breastplate, so Lancelot going for more of the Semi-Bruiser build, and that is allowing Navi to really prolong these fights, even though they are dealing with a Kalea. You can really see the healing nerf come in.
Oh, Aria tackled on by 4. She will fall in the process as GG. They're losing their composition. They're losing their minds over this one. They're running around like hitless chickens. You have a loose member from Navi MY up on top. Rina doing and making quick work off the long lane. As Gaming Gladiators, they're struggling on that defense. They're starting things up yet again. 2-man traction pulse into the fray as they pull someone back in. Raymond goes down by hands of Sayori, but it's not enough. It's 4 members down by GG. Nicolette is all that's left as Navi MY cleans up shop. Aria comes back out, but I don't think it's enough. You got a minion waves coming in. Navi MY might just end this off. The final slash might look pretty, but it's not enough. As the throne will get taken out. Navi MY. That's a first victory.
Almost as quickly as it began, it came to an end. A single strike surgically placed